Here we go.
Yes, it's the Latinos Out Loud podcast. I think I lost a lung.
Yes.
So I'll have the rest of the podcast with just my right lung, but that's okay. I've got two.
Yeah, I think you
were
lost it for
really trying to hit that last yo note.
That yo note.
I was. I wanted to go there. I wanted to go yonder.
Very yeah, you're like belting out that song like you like J-Lo over here and shit.
Let's just say I'm J-Yo.
J-Yo.
J-Yo into his house. I'm inspired. We're going to talk about it. We've seen a lot of La J-Lo recently. And actually, we got to saw her. If I could talk. We got to see her.
You got to saw her. Wow. Okay.
We got... Yeah. Look, I'm on 2 hours of sleep. Grammar this episode is off. Forgive me. Just rock out with me. You know what I meant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we actually got to see her, which we have to talk about the opening night of the Tribeca Film Festival. Should we just get right into it? Like, there's no need to roll out any kind of red carpet, right?
Yo, you guys went to the big event.
No, we do have to say where we are. We have to say where we are before we do that. Although you know where you are because you're the one that got here. But thanks for joining us at the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. Hi, I'm your friend. I'm dressed in purple today. No reason. Rachel La Loca.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not J-Lo, but I'm Jay Fern.
Ooh,
Jay Ferns.
Not J-Lo, but Jay Fern.
Ferns, or I can go I went to letter less, Jay Fern, just to keep it, the least amount of letters as possible for the J-Lo joke. But yeah. And who else is here?
Mr. Frank Nibbs from Washington Heights. Yes.
Ooh.
Yep.
Speaking of Washington Heights, that's
yes.
where this premiere of J-Lo's new documentary on the first night of the Tribeca Film Festival was held in none other than Washington Heights.
Yes. Wow.
Let's just discuss how the heck.
I want to hear, man. I didn't get to go, but I want to hear this, guys. Heights. Talk to me. How was it?
Well,
that was exciting in and of itself. Go ahead, Jamie.
So the premiere was held at the United Palace Theater.
Oh, yeah. Right down the block from me, yo. Yeah.
Right down the block from you.
Yes.
And for the people that know, it's right across the street from Malecón restaurant. You want to get Garon de Pollo done right.
Yeah. In the Chinese store across the street, too. Good Chinese food across the street, man.
Yo, but people gotta get the visual of Malecón real quick. Those people who are outside of New York City, those places with the chickens on the rotisserie, like rotisserieing in the window. Right. So it's like spinning chickens. It's great.
Yeah. You're immediately hungry just looking at their window shopping. But
I love spinning chickens.
So this theater is an old school theater. It looks like straight out of
it's in the movie Belly. It's in the movie Belly. It's from the 1920s. It's beautiful architecture.
And it wasn't showing movies for a while. And then all of a sudden, like in the last year, few years, they've slowly but surely had screenings. Shout out to Lin-Manuel, who's actually
and his dad, man.
They're a big part of why there's screenings there again. I think he actually
shout out to Michael Fiddlestein. Shout out to Mino Loda too. That's doing her thing.
It's a bunch of people that are responsible for like kind of this theater coming back to life. But Lin actually like put some money into them replacing their screen, their movie screen. The restoration, right? So, and now you can see all these great movies, and he has these summer screenings, every other month. Showing old classic movies. They showed Do the Right Thing recently.
He's gonna have Spielberg, bro. He's gonna have Spielberg.
Spielberg gonna be up in there. They're about to show Indiana Jones.
Spielberg is coming to the Heights.
What?
Yo. It's crazy. He's going more and more.
Believe it, yo. This is crazy.
He was shooting West Side Story in Harlem, and now he's working his way north to the Heights. Next thing we know, he's gonna be in Riverdale, chilling in YO, going to Sue's Rendezvous and shit.
And then eventually the Bronx.
Still open?
Then we'll get Spielberg in the Bronx
Spielberg and
eventually.
money earning Mount Vernon. Right? That's
Jamie, tell me,
cool.
please. I want to know. Talk to me.
Anyway, so that's the kind of the breakdown of that theater. Now, Rachel ended up going to the J-Lo. She has a new documentary on Netflix, and they premiered it in this theater, United Palace, and it was the first day of the Tribeca Film Festival, and even De Niro came out.
Wow,
De Niro was on stage.
Yo, I never seen the heights like that, man. There was security up in there. It was like, it was like an Oscar premiere, bro. It looked crazy out there.
Yeah, they even had the little indoor kind of like where people go in and they pose for the pictures and step and repeat. They had all that shit.
Damn.
So yeah, it looked very.
Y'all motherfuckers was balling that day, yo.
It was Hollywood in the Heights. Hollywood in the Heights.
I gotta shout out somebody else who was there actually on the red carpet. One of our friends of the room, Ramon Pesante, was out there.
Oh, he was there. Yeah.
Yes, he was shooting Arrivals for Netflix, so we love that. Ramon is getting those jobs. Shout out to him. But yo, you know what's exciting? My mom was so proud. She's like, because the next day, La J-Lo's dress came out, the beautiful black V-cut thing that she was wearing, and my dad was like, "Oh, I saw Jennifer Lopez. She looked great." And then my mom was like, "Your daughter was there. Your daughter saw the dress in persona. Your daughter was there. Tell your daughter you're proud of her for seeing the J-Lo's dress in person." I'm like, "Oh, you're proud of me for seeing J-Lo's dress in person? That's what you're proud of me for?" I'm so confused here. But that was funny. So let's talk about the films, shall we? Halftime?
Yes, please, guys, tell me, please.
Halftime was a double meaning because it focuses on her getting ready for the Super Bowl halftime show that she performed in, and also it started on her 50th birthday, so she's in the halftime of her life as well. Yes. So that was the double meaning. It was interesting. I mean, I think that right after I saw it, I felt like it's one of these and it's kind of a thing now where a lot of these celebrities and even athletes are doing these documentaries, and it's like a long infomercial about the artist. It's like, it's basically like, giving you a history of the artist, and they have they're in the editing room, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it's not someone doing a documentary and then like they completely edit it the way they want to. Like, you can tell that J-Lo had her hand in what
she wanted
what she wanted people to see and not see. And it's very strategic, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that doesn't make it less entertaining. I think it was actually very entertaining, and it was interesting to see her prepare and for this halftime Super Bowl show.
So what's up with the beef with her and Shakira? What was that about?
Yeah, Rachel. Rachel.
Why you gotta say beef? Why you gotta say beef?
I mean, I don't know. The next day,
from a journalistic perspective.
I mean, this is what this movie. I mean, it blew up the next day. This whole thing with her and Shakira. So tell me what the movie, what she do in the movie. Say like it just blew up.
Well, apparently in the film, she talks about how there really wasn't the need to share the halftime stage at the Super Bowl with two Latinas. That the power of J-Lo's discography and everything she's recorded, her shows in Vegas, her performances from soup to nuts, her presentations would have been sufficient. That was her POV. And she came at it from the angle of sort of FUNFL for even proposing that they are to share these 14 minutes, or I think it was even less after all was said and done. But how dare the NFL say that the stage has to be shared by two Latinas for the first time, a Latina's even making a presentation from the NFL Super Bowl stage. Let's discuss.
Got it.
That now don't take it out of context, because we could talk about that all day here. And I know what Jamie's gonna say, not just because we talked about it before the show. I know what Jamie's gonna say, because, you know, J-Lo has a reputation. Let's keep it 100. As Frank would say, let's keep it a stack.
Yeah.
J-Lo has a representation. J-Lo has, I told you, I'm on 2 hours of sleep. The words just aren't coming out right. J-Lo has a reputation for a couple of things.
Right.
So let's talk about that. But I would love, all bias aside, to be quite honest, like on the strength of this film and you guys knowing the Super Bowl and us knowing the halftime show, what do we feel of that sentiment? Did we need two Latinas? Did we need Shakira and J-Lo to pull off an incredible halftime show at the Super Bowl?
Well, as Jamie was saying, it's a big. It was. I think it's a big stage, and they both could have shared it. You know, it probably. I mean, to me, it came off a little catty, maybe. You know, so towards Shakira as a fellow Latina, but I don't know. It seems kind of weird to me. But I mean, again, we said it. That's J-Lo. She has a personality. She has an ego. She has a strong. That's Jamie said it earlier. That's part of maybe her whole persona. That's what drives her. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can see that this performance meant a lot to her. I mean, and she takes her music very seriously. Like, I don't think I knew that before the documentary, how like serious she does. She takes the choreography and everything that goes on in the actual stage show. She's responsible for and this and that. So she's very hands-on. And I think because of that, she was, she wanted the stage for herself. I'm like, wow. To me, I'm like, it's a Super Bowl. Why not have her and Shakira? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, we love, J-Lo got hits, but, I don't think it's a bad thing for them to want to have as many stars. Like I was saying, the most recent Super Bowl had a bunch of hip hop stars, it had Dr.
Right.
Dre and Snoop Dogg and Eminem, and then even some R&B stars like Mary J. Blige. So, you could have a halftime show like that, or you could have a straight up solo one like The Weeknd. It was just him.
The Weeknd.
You could argue that The Weeknd got the stage to himself. Why not J-Lo? So look, I mean, I guess it depends. Where you want to, if you want to complain, if you're J-Lo.
Yeah, we go all day on this, guys.
She's a diva. And I'm using diva in a positive sense. She's, like the Mariahs and the Beyoncés. Is like they're divas. They're going to want what they want, and they don't get it, they're not going to be happy. So I'm pretty sure she wanted the stage all to herself. But I think at the end of the performance, she was happy with how it turned out. And I think her and Shakira actually worked well together in that performance. So
I agree.
But look, she's showing you everything, and I mean she's showing you not everything maybe, but she's showing you a little bit of that side of like her being pissed off initially, and I'm pretty sure she knew she was going to get criticized for that, and now look, the next day everybody want to focus on J-Lo was talking shit about Shakira, but it really wasn't technically like that. She just felt she felt a little offended that she couldn't do the show that she would want to do if it was just her. Now she had to cut shit down, everything like that. But
I wonder how Shakira took that.
Is it perfectionist? I think it's just the perfectionist talking in her. I don't think it was anything specific to Shakira. And look, who knows what Shakira was saying on her end? You didn't get to. She probably was like, why I got to share my hits on stage with someone else?
Yeah.
She was like, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. I do the worst Shakira. Holler at Karina Ortiz. Karina Ortiz probably does the best Shakira I think I've ever heard.
That's good. She had a good
one. Shout out to Karina. But let me just say this. Universe, hear me. For the day to come where I have enough funding to make a film to say fuck you to the people that been hating on me in my career, because that's what La J-Lo did. Okay, you're right. I completely agree. She was on the editing floor. I didn't remember in the credits what her, how many things she did in the film, but she gave a big FU to the NFL. She also gave a big FU to South Park. you know, and not for nothing. Okay, maybe she did pull at my sympathy chords a little, but like I did feel a little bad for her. South Park has notoriously been making fun of her acting on their show
Oh
for
shit! I never knew that.
forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
mean, there was
she,
that one specific episode. I mean, look, South Park, they don't give a F though either. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Wow.
And who else was it? It was the NFL, it was South Park. She shouted out some of the people that have and like journalists. Like there was a whole part of the film where you feel bad about this crazy reputation of being a bad actress that surrounds her. It's really fucked up. And also, you know, receiving all the what are those awards, Jamie? The Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, the Razzies.
The Razzies.
Yeah, yo, that's gotta hurt, bro. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, I mean, also with her singing, a lot of people dissing her voice and stuff like that.
Right. I think she's a better actress than a singer. You know?
Right. I think, yeah. I mean, again, I feel like this documentary, yeah, like I didn't get the whole catty part, her and Shakira. I don't think that didn't, I think people were focusing on the wrong thing. I think the interesting parts of the documentary, the most interesting ones was her talking about her rise from a fly girl, you know, growing up in the Bronx, you know,
we love
talking
that story.
Yeah, even talking about how her mom used to like kick the shit out of her when she was younger. Like there was a
Mira,
whole thing
muchacha.
there. You know, because she was at this point in her life where, you know, she just was like, I'm out. I want to follow my dreams.
Oh, she must have been caliente when she was 17, 18. She must have been a headache. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then
she must have been, mother must have had to slap up a few times.
And that's that's the shit that shows that the real her, you know, the real J-Lo, not just the person that we see on the tabloids, right? And so that I thought those were the most the things that were most effective in the documentary.
Right.
I also want to call out one more thing from the documentary is that J-Lo also pointed out the team effort it takes to get an artist from the chair to the seat at the Oscars, at the Globes.
That's good.
And I think that's deep because she shouted out the team. We saw Chef Kelvin up in the documentary.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
that quick cameo.
I saw him too at another event, but
quick
we'll talk
cameo.
about
And I also feel that that's deep because you're riding with this artist, whether you're in the entourage, you're on the PR team, acting coach, singing coach, hair and makeup,
behind
nails,
the scenes,
like hemorrhoid wiper. Like, I don't know, whatever you do, you're part of that team, and everybody is like built up to win or to get the nomination. It must be incredibly disappointing to have J-Lo come back without the win after putting all that work as part of her team, as part of her crew. I felt that moment in the documentary as well. And I love feeling that because that is so Latina. Okay. We do this as a team, baby. Okay. You think I did all this by myself? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Well, no, shout out to people who helped me with my nail, you know, but I just think that was kind of deep. And I love the passion that the people that work for her have. That was depicted in the film as well.
Yeah, I was surprised that she was showing how, you know, and not using this word, you know, to diss her, but I'm like, she was very thirsty in this documentary about getting an Oscar nomination. And usually actors are trying, you know, they have their publicists do that, their agents and stuff like that. Like they're not necessarily like campaigning themselves. You know what I mean? Like she was straight up like really, she wasn't hiding the fact that she wanted a nomination. And like, wow, you know, some people criticize her for that, but I thought it was interesting because it's like not everybody tries to play it cool during Oscar season. And, you know, and she was just like, please nominate me, please.
Give it to me.
Please.
Por favor, please.
Please.
I got bruises from pole dancing for this role.
That's what she said. The Hustler. She said that filming that opening scene was one of the hardest things she's ever done in her life. All eyes were on her. She had to train for it, to do this pole dancing. I mean, interesting stuff all around. But like,
look, yeah. I mean, I think she's a good actress. I mean, she has gotten into romantic comedy, you know, like that's become her thing. But one of her best performances, other than Selena, which everybody loves, well, most people do. I mean, there's some Mexican people that didn't like her as the role. That's a whole different thing. But I loved her in Out of Sight, the movie with George Clooney.
Really?
I thought she was real good in that movie. I wish she would have kind of maybe done more movies like that in that direction.
What's the one with her and Richard Gere?
That
she teaches him how to dance, and she's like his dancing instructor. I forgot the name.
Shall We Dance or something?
Something like that's my favorite
in the title.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones of her, and obviously, like you said, Selena. But she's a good actress, I think. Better than a singer for me, at least. And I don't know about an Oscar. I don't know. I don't think she's done Oscar caliber work.
Right, and I think once she did this role, and you know, it was probably her first kind of role in a while that would garner some Oscar buzz, because those romantic comedies aren't, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she just went full like, she was, you know, really like, I mean, it didn't help that the Golden Globes, you know, nominated her. So obviously at that point you're like, oh, I have a good chance of getting nominated.
You're going to be nominated, right?
But she put all her eggs in the Oscar basket, and it's like you can't really do that because you're probably going to get disappointed. Like that's how.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that she showed that she wasn't afraid to show show the audience the vulnerability there, and that definitely, like you said, sometimes it's tugging the heartstrings, maybe a little too much, but it's also showing kind of her kind of getting dissed right on camera, and so
the real side of J-Lo, like there are real emotions there apparently. I thought that was deep too. The feeling of disappointment, we all know it, and you just think like J-Lo doesn't feel it as deep as we do, but apparently in this film she did, and she does. So I think that this is interesting, and I like the approach. Why not just, you know, get a film going, putting people on blast, telling your real story. And what did she say in the film? That she's just getting started at 50. I love that too.
Man, she's not stop.
She's making, you know, she's inspiring, you know, I'm pretty sure she's trying to inspire Latinas, but she's also inspiring over 50, you know, women over 50 or you know, and everybody over 50, like that. She still has that kind of the energy,
vibrancy,
the
that
vibrancy,
life.
the energy, the motivation, the you know, to kind of keep doing everything at a high level, or at least a level, you know, her level of high, like what she would want to. So you know, I give it props. It did what it had to do. It was entertaining throughout. I wasn't bored. You know, it might have been trying to stuff a little bit too much of like how she gets abused by the media. That you know, she kind of like doesn't really talk about relationship stuff. I think A-Rod was like, they showed him in one split second video. Like, I forget that she dated A-Rod now, because now she's back with Ben. It's like, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, she did date A-Rod for like 2 years. But her daughter was.
How could you forget?
Her daughter was in it a lot, in the documentary a lot. So you see how close they are.
Is Mark in it? Mark Anthony?
Nah.
Wow. Okay.
So
Interesting.
was what she wanted to do.
Was J-Lo there? Was she at the premiere?
She was. Yes. So Rachel, you can talk about that.
Well, she was there. She looked beautiful. She had this black V-cut, deep cut dress, and like she incorporated these young dancers in her film who made an appearance at the United Palace and came and danced for everyone on stage. And then they did a lovely presentation to J-Lo with flowers, and it got her emotional.
Wow.
And she said that she wasn't going to talk, she wasn't going to speak, but she grabbed the mic and addressed everybody. It was a packed house, mezzanine and orchestra was all full. And she said thank you, and she was touched. And it was really exciting for her. It must be exciting to see a film, you know, like
right.
that
Her film, man. Wow.
Yeah. And I left like I took an exit that we weren't supposed to take. So I go out into this side exit, and then a lot of those girls that performed at the end, like they went through that exit as well after they finished. And so when I went through the exit, they were there and they were mobbing. And so like right outside the door to go to the, to the street, like they were crowding around. Lin-Manuel was around that area, in that exit.
Holy smokes.
So they're crowding.
I didn't even know he was there. Lin-Manuel was there?
He was in the side edge. So I go off this side exit that security was like, you're not supposed to go here. And I'm like, yeah, but a friend of mine just went through and he was like, all right, but nobody else. And then I go through and then all I see is Lin-Manuel getting mobbed backstage.
Oh shit.
By all these girls that just performed. They're mobbing him like he's a member of Menudo in the 80s, you know what I mean? And he's just like
over kids were probably like, oh my god, it's Mr. fucking Encanto, it's Mr. Moana. All the kids probably love him.
They were all trying to get selfies with him, and so like I had to wait for that to end, right? And then they all finally, the door opens outside. I get to go outside. And then I see J-Lo right when I turn. J-Lo's going into her SUV.
Oh, smokes.
She's like super close to me, but there's like one security guard like separating us. And if I was like a crazy person, I could have just, easily, ran up to her and like hugged her or some shit. You know what I mean? But luckily I just stood there like,
man, she would have said, Jamie, I'm waiting for you to ask me to be on your Bochinche Bites show. I'm just waiting.
Why don't you? Hello, I've been trying to get on. You better not talk shit about my movie, though. I tell you that. But I heard that. I think she went to the after party. So
what up? You guys went to the after party also, right? Was at La Marina.
Let's talk about that. Yes.
Dímelo.
Bueno, Frank. Shout out to Netflix. Also, shout out to Alexis over at Netflix. There were buses waiting for us outside of the United Palace to bus us to
wow,
the Hudson.
Y'all was chilling.
Okay, we showed up at the Hudson. There was food everywhere. It was just a networking thing, photo ops, photo booths. It was real
wow.
Fun. It was like those buses in Chinatown that take you to like Boston and Washington and shit. I felt like I was going on a long trip. I was like, yo, what the fuck? We're just going. All we're going is like 10 blocks, but it's like this big ass bus.
It was like a Bolt bus. Yeah, are we going to Pittsburgh right now? Where are we going? But it took us to the Hudson, nice little air-conditioned trip, which was very nice. And Tribeca Film Festival does it big. The decor was lovely. Food, they had these big, huge paella dishes. I don't do paella. I don't do paella.
What? They serve paella?
Yeah, paella. I had to get some paella.
Oh my god.
How was it, Jamie? Because I don't eat that stuff.
I'm not a big paella guy either, but it was good. I liked it.
Okay.
Wow.
And open bar, you know how it is.
Shit, man. I love that HBO's doing events up here in the Heights, just like they did when they did the bachata thing with Romeo Santos. I like that they're bringing all these events up here. You know what I mean? Where the people really at. You know.
Shout out to Netflix. Shout out to HBO. Everybody who's doing it and representing it and taking it to the communities. These are the communities that are tuning into your shows. So it does feel nice that the events are taking place at the epicenter where the fans are.
Nice.
Especially for like Jennifer Lopez. I feel, and I could be wrong, guys, but like I do feel like maybe she's at a point in her career where she realizes there is a need to give back more and to pay it forward more, you know? So I'm excited to see what comes of this second halftime show of La J-Lo and her life. You know what I mean?
Man, maybe we don't give her enough credit. You know, she's done a lot. You know, we really look at it in retrospect. So maybe she's trying to make a point.
And being just like, there's a lot of pressure just being a Latino or Latina celebrity, that's well known, because people are going to expect things from you to really rep the culture. And if they feel like you're not repping it properly, they start criticizing you. So I feel like it's a tough spot because there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of A-list Latino celebrities right now. So again, you're gonna get people that are gonna criticize the documentary, criticize her. But I thought it was good. I thought it represented her well, and it was entertaining, and it was I give it a good grade. And then it was a great night though. It was fun, like you said, Frank, Tribeca Film Festival opening night uptown, like that's pretty good.
I mean, I was thinking you were like 3 blocks away from the Hudson. I was like, yo,
No,
Jamie walked home, man.
I walked home, man. It was a late night, but I was like, I knew like I didn't, I don't have to take an
Come
Uber anywhere.
on. You can't beat that, man. Shit, you can't beat
Yeah, I was
that.
like, I'm a drink. Look, if I drink, I'll still find my way home, even if I'm like
Right,
stoned.
right. I'm not too far.
I'm
I'm
not too
only 5 minutes
far.
away.
I'm not too far. Yeah, that's
And
very
shout out to
convenient.
everybody.
Very convenient.
Yo, can we shout out everybody that we was hanging out with that night? It was so cool. Shout out to all the comedians in the building, Joanna Hausman, Millie
Yeah,
Tamaris. Shout out to Juan Bago and shout out to Dennis, who I met
yeah.
that evening. Also, shout out to my boy Anthony. We had a really good time. It
Wow,
was
you
cool.
guys were rolling deep, man. Oof.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, so Frank, I mean, it sucks that you didn't get to go, but did you I think that same night you said that you were actually in actually a pretty
Yeah,
cool
man.
event. You
Yes.
Tell
want to
us what
share that
you
real
were
quick? Yeah.
doing.
I got invited by Paola Soto, very good friend of mine. You guys know. She invited me to
Nice.
Lemon and Anderson's event, which I spoke about on the podcast a few weeks ago. This event that he was having like a personal event at this. It's a space right next to the Google building that we performed at. It's right down the block. It's right near the Apple Store. That the Apple Store on for 14th.
And Lemon
Beautiful
Anderson
place.
is a former guest on the show, and
Yes,
also known for being just a great poet. I mean, he's a writer too, and all that stuff.
he's
In
amazing.
general, but he's amazing poet. And remember if you
Um,
remember the Def Jam comedy, Def Jam poetry days.
Yeah.
I.
Chef Megs was in the building. Chachi was in the building. Her husband, Chef Kelvin, was in the
Oh,
building. All former
Chachi.
guests. So it was beautiful.
Wow.
And Lemon did his thing as he always does, man. Very powerful. It was Puerto Rican weekend basically in New York. So it felt very inspiring and he dropped gems, man. He's amazing. Anytime Lemon performs, you gotta take it all in, man. The guy's he's on another level. He's on another level. And what I love about him is that he pushes Latinos. He keeps on preaching that every time, in his work, what he says, what he preaches, what he speaks about. He's also a teacher. He's talking about being a professor at, Arizona University. So, he teaches, he like you were saying, pushing, giving it forward, He talks
Pay it
about
forward.
us paying it forward. He pays it forward and teaching the youth and, through the poetry and he mixes it up beautifully with his career. It's amazing what he's doing.
Those poets know how to command the room,
Yes.
like
Yes.
with their voice. Basically, like they just know how to stop talking and listen.
Yes. So it's
It's
like,
a
come
very
on, man. He
specific
did
gift.
like an hour of, his poetry, and it's like 45 minutes to an hour, like you said, quiet. The room is, you could hear a pin drop, when he talks. So it was a good night. I want to give a huge shout out to Paola. She graduated from Columbia, so he brought her up. You
Whoop,
know,
whoop. Oh,
Wow.
there was a moment for her on
yeah,
stage.
man, he brought her up. He
Oh,
gave
I
her, he
love
gave her,
that.
he gave her his. She's been with him for a long time. So, that was beautiful. My homegirl graduated from Columbia University, so that was a beautiful night. So it was beautiful all around, man.
That's
Beautiful.
cool.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
That whole weekend was
Yo.
was bopping in New York. We were talking earlier, Jamie. There was the MetLife hip hop thing that goes on out there. I don't know if the parade was going on that same week. What else? You had the Randall's Islands had something else going on. So the whole New York City was like on fire that week.
Yo, that weekend, it was not only Puerto Rican weekend. I think it was just Latino weekend here in New York City. Latinos were outside. Also, Saturday, June 11th, big shout out to Adam Torres Concerts, who had the Salsa Festival.
Oh
I
my
got, guys.
Lord. Oh my
All
God.
right,
Why didn't you? If
guys.
I wanted to go so badly, my God.
So you had just no. Continue, Frank.
I wanted to go so badly. Rachel put up some stories. Some old school salsa. Ay, mama.
You love salsa, Frank. I don't know if you love salsa more or watching girls dance salsa more. I'm
Both,
not
Rachel.
sure.
Both.
But your Instagram stories sometimes, I mean, I also like to watch people dance salsa. I like to dance salsa, listen salsa. It's just a beautiful music, beautiful dance. But your girl was brought on to do another video, to produce another recap video. So of course I hollered at my guy, Romel Rodriguez. Shout
All
out to
right.
Romel. And we hit up the Barclays Center and we saw some iconic performances. Yo, these viejos, they get
They were
down, boy.
yeah, they ain't stopping. They ain't
Yo,
stopping.
Jerry Rivera came out and like a tear started to form in my eye. Like his songs are so goddamn romantic.
He still looks the same, man. He looks
15 years old. He looks like a kid going through puberty on stage, and his voice is still so angelic. It's so beautiful. Jerry Rivera, Andy Montañez. I mean, that's a classic right there. Un verano en Nueva York.
Un verano en Nueva York. Oh man.
Okay. Tito Nieves was there.
Oh my God, he has so many hits.
Tito Nieves, yeah, baby. Latinos
I like it like
loud,
that.
Latinos out loud, Latinos
out
loud.
loud.
Hey,
Yes,
baby. You don't know the remix? Okay. And Grupo Nietzsche, Ray Ruiz, Luis Enrique, Fruco y sus Teso, you know that song? That's like the fastest salsa song out there. Don't even, I mean, if you're not a professional dancer, I don't advise you even attempt to dance that song at a party.
You break an ACL easily.
Yeah, or heart failure or something.
Easily.
It's like too fast. It's like too fast.
That's the thing.
And then go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, as the thing with salsa is like, you don't like, I don't know if there's been any new salsa songs in the last 25 years, because we all in Spanish parties, they're only playing the same songs from back in the day. Like,
that's why I love them.
Are there current popular salsa songs now?
They don't make them like this.
I don't think so.
Nope.
And I have to just take a moment and say my two favorite performers, my two favorite salsa artists were there, and those are La India and Victor Manuel.
Oh
and
my God.
As always, they just don't disappoint. Can I shout out La India's set real quick?
Please.
I've seen her perform a few times, and I've worked with her back in the day when I was at People en Español. We brought her on to perform at concerts. I don't know if you guys know this, she made a vow to Celia Cruz to keep her memory alive.
Yeah, that's her godmother, right?
So at every India show, you will also see Celia.
Wow.
Whether it's on a video or, somehow Celia is always incorporated into La India's set.
Wow. That's
Isn't
amazing.
That so admirable, honorable, and beautiful.
And if there's anyone I've asked you 100 times to please get, is her.
I love her so much.
We gotta get her, Rachel.
She is, ladies, feel me on this. Her music is brought in to your playlist at certain times, right?
She saved a lot of your hearts too, right? Ahí.
You're just Those
that one.
She didn't do dancing on fire.
Oh, that's for freestyle days.
Her house music.
Yeah,
dancing
on fire.
Yeah.
One desire.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's when she was doing her freestyle
all the time.
Damn, JB, you remember that one?
I used to have the LP. I used to have the vinyl of that.
Damn, JB took it back to her days when she first started, bro.
Yo, that was like, that was back in the day. Like,
you know what song I love that she did? Oh me, yeah, oh
me, yeah, oh my God. Yeah, you took it back.
That was my joint.
Well, fun fact, guys, fun fact, she was married to Little Louis Vega, by the way. Yes, they were married for a while. So yeah, she takes it back, and don't forget she had a good musical relationship with Mark Anthony also. So she encompasses like all those icons. Celia Cruz, she has all that around her, man. She's amazing. She's amazing. Yes.
So Rachel, what other genre of music concert festival are you gonna work on next? Is there like a country music? Is there a country music all-stars festival you're gonna work on?
I am down to go and cover any genre of music. You'd be surprised at my playlist. Like if I look at my concert repertoire, I've been to like Billy Joel, Rush, AC/DC, and then like Jay-Z, Beyonce. Like I really do love all music. So I would cover country. It's all good. Country to me is like the white man's bachata. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's the same like depressing stories, my girl left me and I got my accordion and that's about all. And that's like bachata, right? Like, ay, ya me dejó. You know, like it's just the same shit. Yeah. So I'm down to cover both.
I'm impressed by how much story they have in their songs. Like there's so much specificity to this side. And the doctor told me the herpes were permanent. And I'm like, damn, this is a fucking deep ass song about herpes, yo. But like they get the whole, it's like they still rhyme the verses together perfectly. I just can't listen to it, but like I respect the craft of the songwriting.
And you guys know I'm like a multitasking maniac, right? So I have not been doing good with exercise the last 2 weeks. I've been under deadlines and it's been impossible to keep up with my fitness regimen. But these concerts are cardio, baby. They are. I mean, Romel is small. He'd be getting into little corners, and I'm just like, no, Mama's gonna have to sit that one out. I cannot fit, because he likes to get really good angles. So he like squeezes his way into like nooks and crannies, and I'm like, nope, I don't fit, and my bones won't allow me to crouch down that low. So but like we are walking around running in some instances, like when Shabba Ranks threw himself on the audience and was crowd surfing to Trailer Load of Girls. Wow. I'm like, we gotta go. Let's get to the stage. Go. And we're running to the stage to get the moment of Shabba, crowd surfing.
Damn.
But it's cardio. So, hey, hire me for your concert needs. Because I'm checking a few boxes here. I'm having a great time listening to the music. I'm doing cardio. I'm wearing my faja underneath it all.
Yeah.
Damn, fine.
That was a confession. Guys,
this is my confession.
Can I ask you a question? When you see a girl wearing a faja, how do you feel? Is it okay? Daytime wear, evening wear? Like, when's the right time to wear a faja, or does it matter?
I mean, I thought women always wear faja when they come out the house. I mean, all my women always have fajas.
It's a part of the culture. It's a part of the culture to an extent. So, yeah, I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, I'm bugged. I'm seeing guys with fajas now. They're selling guy fajas now. I don't know if you've seen that. It goes up to your breasts over here. If you got like boobies, you get them up to your your neckline.
Wow.
So they got them for the guys now too. The chubby guys could get them too.
I think fajas are interesting, especially because of the guest that we have on this show. Maybe she'll come out with a branded line of fajas, and like make them look pretty. Because that's the one thing, fajas are still not fashionably nice to look at.
Right.
I have yet to see one that, like, if a man sees you undressed and sees that faja underneath, he's like, yeah, baby. No,
wow, mommy.
All the fajas are ugly and they have buckles and like the tooth and the thing you got to hook, and the fabric is not sexy and it's sweaty. It's just... All right, guys, before we continue, we have such a sweet treat baked right into the middle of this episode. Yeah, that's right. Everybody put your oven mitts on because we're about to take something sweet out the oven, baby. We're going from the oven to the moon. That's right. Oh, my God, I'm so excited to have conducted a quick interview with two actors that I am such a diehard fan of. Holy moly. I had the pleasure of interviewing Joe Manganiello and Dominic Monaghan, who are both starring in AMC's new upcoming suspense thriller called Moonhaven. That starts premiering, streaming, everything on AMC on July 7th. So guys, are you ready? Check out this interview that I conducted with my friends Joe and Dominic. Awesome. Hi, Joe. Hi, Dominic. I'm Rachel La Loca, or just Rachel, from the Latinos Out Loud podcast. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. I think we could just jump right in. So I want to say welcome to LOL. We like to say that we move Latinos forward while making them laugh. But it's really nice to have you on here because you are yet again part of another buzzworthy television show, Moonhaven. So darkness finds its way into Moonhaven. I'm a spiritual Latina, okay? I have the moon tattooed on my wrist. So my first question is, did you guys grow up fans of watching or reading science fiction? And did any of that stand out to you while working on Moonhaven?
Yeah, I read a lot of science fiction growing up. That was my thing, science fiction, fantasy. So, and I read, all the classics, and that is what stood out to me about the script. Was it felt like some old, it felt like a science fiction novel that I would have read back in high school. It was close enough to our own reality, and I think all the sci-fi and the science and kind of the theory of it checked out. It's like, yeah, okay, that checks out with me. And then I really liked the murder mystery on top of it. So there was a great kind of narrative engine driving the whole thing. But yeah, I'm a big sci-fi guy, and I grew up with all of it.
And how about you, Dominic?
Yeah, I like sci-fi too. Obviously a child born in the middle of the 1970s, Star Wars was a huge thing for me, formative in terms of the types of films that I liked. And then from there, obviously growing up, watching things like Dark Star in 2001 and getting into the kind of later Star Trek stuff. And then, kind of relatively more recent things like Firefly and Serenity, I really liked. So I like things that, ask you to kind of exercise your brain a little bit. And hopefully this is another one of those shows.
Yeah, I'm really into sci-fi too, like Dancing with the Stars. Does that count? That's like, no, maybe that's not sci-fi. All right. But okay, Dominic, this is another question you may not have heard before. Not sure. Our fans and myself would like to know if you've been invited to one of Joe's famous basement Dungeons and Dragons games yet.
Oh, Joe and I were actually talking last night because a friend of mine just kind of turned my head to this game called Magic the Gathering, which is kind of a card-based fantasy game. And I just kind of assumed that Joe would know it. And when we were chatting last night after the screening, I was like, hey, do you play Magic the Gathering? And Joe's like, yeah, I play it every week at my house. So we've not done a Dungeons and Dragons thing. I did recently, a year or so ago, finish a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I'm trying to get a friend of mine to play a kind of version of Dungeons and Dragons based in space, a little bit more of a Star Trek version of Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, it's one of the few things. It's one of the things that Joe and I bond on. I'm a little bit of a nerd, and I'm okay with it. I'm happy to be called a nerd, and it's not that often that you meet someone who's also a kind of card-carrying nerd about certain things, and Joe has things that he's interested in the same way that I do. So it's nice. It's nice to have someone who shares some common interests with you.
I love that. Now, just final question on the series. Is there an earthly conservation message behind Moonhaven? Maybe we should all live in a better, cleaner earth. How could we do that? Or maybe it's cool to live on the moon. Maybe you guys could tell me, is it a cooler place? But is there messaging behind that in the series?
I mean, that'd probably be a good question for the people who wrote it. And they'd probably tell you no. I would imagine that the show's the show, and whatever you take away from it's what you take away. But I'll be interested to see what people do take away from it, because I do think it is realistic enough to stimulate thought in the way that all great science fiction does.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from the website. There was a really nice message about how we can be better and, conserve the earth. And I think that that's deep. And I love when a show can make that connection, especially for the audience. At least that's what I gathered.
Cool. That's great. That's great that it did something for you in that regard. I think our creator, showrunner, Peter Ocko, cares about Earth, cares about his children, cares about, making the right decisions. So if you got that message from it, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. And lastly, any messages that you guys took away from working on this show that you'd like to share with us at the Latinos Out Loud podcast?
Message. I mean, it's probably for my character, it's going to be different than what Dom took away, because, his character and my character are on very different wavelengths in the show. So, where he might say, the future is possibly better, my character and for me and my mentality, it would be humans are going to be humans no matter what and no matter where you put them. So I'm going to have a more pessimistic, cynical view of it, but I'm a character who, I play a character who's from Earth. So I spent my whole time in Ireland in that headspace, justifying those things. So it might be a different message and might not be the one that you're looking for.
And Dominic, anything to add about what you took away?
Well, I'm a naturally positive person. I kind of lead with positivity generally. That's just the way that I get through my day. And I think it's
same here. Woo, woo.
It's an easy way to live your life. I think maybe one of the messages coming through the show, hopefully, is that there are people out there who are willing to think that, this is a species worth fighting with and for a better future, so fingers crossed that message kind of finds its way into conversations.
Awesome. Joe Manganiello and Dominic Monaghan, thank you so much. Moonhaven premieres on AMC July 7th. Congrats and best of luck to you both with all future endeavors, whether on Earth or on the moon.
Thanks, Rach.
I had so much fun talking to Joe and Dominic. It was great. Thank you so much for your time. Make sure to check out Moonhaven, you guys. And now we have a whole other interview. There's so much more left to this episode, right, Jamie and Frank?
Wow.
So you mentioned, our guest for this episode, she sells a lot of things on her site. I don't think she sells pajas yet. Maybe she needs to put that into the, in there in the next creative meeting. But her name is Patty Delgado, and she's the CEO of Hija De Tu Madre, which is a website. They sell clothing, they sell jewelry, they sell like notepads. You know what I mean? They sell a lot of stuff, but it's a very distinctive brand. And she talks to us about it on this episode. We started this episode talking about J-Lo, a very a Latina woman who takes things into her own hands and has created a career out of it. Our guest, Patty Delgado's done the same thing. So you want to check out the interview, Rachel? Do you want anything else to add?
I think you did a really splendid job. It's a really exciting interview. Latina empowerment, baby. This is it. Let's go.
Brah.
All right, you guys, it is now part of the show here at Latinos Out Loud, where we interview someone amazing. Oh my God, you guys, this is great. Frank, Jamie, I love when we talk to creators and everybody has a way of creating. And in this case, this is through apparel and goodies, things that we wear, things that we can touch. So please put your hands together, your lighters in the air for founder of Hija De Tu Madre, Patty Delgado.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah. What up?
Hello, Patty.
I love this intro. Thank you so much. I'm fantastic. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. The big sign behind you reads Hija De Tu Madre.
Wow.
Now,
yeah.
I think off the bat, right, the first question is, tell us about your company and the name, Hija De Tu Madre.
Absolutely. So my company is called Hija De Tu Madre. We're an LA-based Latina lifestyle brand. We design apparel, accessories, and stationery that are all Latinx inspired. And I'm an Hija de Su Madre. I feel like the name of the company perfectly describes our customers. These are Latinas that do whatever the heck they want. And it describes the brand and our mission to take up more space and to make Latinidad, or to show that Latinidad is the new mainstream. And that's what we're doing at Hija De Tu Madre.
Wow.
That's really exciting. It's deep, right? Like you first read the name, you're like, pero coño, like that's a little rough. But then you're like, wait a minute, not really. Yeah, I'm an hija de mi madre, definitivamente. And how long have you guys been around for?
Yeah, so I started the company back in 2016. I don't know if y'all remember, but 2016 was kind of a hot mess politically, culturally. a lot of anti-immigrant sentiment. And I felt really called to create a place and a safe space for my culture and community. I'm Mexican, my parents are Mexican immigrants. So I really wanted to retell what it meant to be Latina. What does it look like to be Latina when it's not involving stereotypes or corniness? And that's what we're doing over here.
Ooh. So walk us through like the process of the like designs that come out. Like what's the creative process and who are you working with? How many fabulous people do you have at the Hija De Tu Madre headquarters?
How many Hija De Tu Madres work for you?
Yeah. How many?
How many hijas are there?
There's a lot of hijas de su madre, one hijo de su madre. So,
all right, that's what I was gonna ask.
No, we're a very small and mighty team. I think there's maybe almost 10 of us.
Okay.
We're going on almost 6 years. We're a super tiny team, super lean, very humble. I started this company with $500 in my parents' living room.
Wow.
We got a warehouse maybe 2 years ago. So yeah, like we still have a ways to go. We've barely scratched the surface.
Patty, I see you hustling with a truck, right? Going down like towards the West Coast. I was telling Rachel and Jamie, like you're like a hustler.
Oh
so
my
cool.
God.
Yo, like you,
cool.
I still
Good traveling hustler.
Yes.
You're like
I like that. I love that.
Like a hustler on wheels. It's really amazing.
Yes.
Thank
Tell us
you.
about that. How you start doing that?
Yeah, so last year I had this crazy idea of how do we take Hija de Tu Madre to a lot of places with Latinos that are underrepresented. So we did a whole tour. We called it a pop-up tour this year in the Southwest. We went to Dallas, we went to Houston, El Paso, Tucson, Phoenix, all over the Southwest to really go to our customers and to our community that don't get cool stuff. I keep joking that like we're like the coolest thing that ever happened to like Dallas, Texas this year. But yeah, I think we're just proving this point that like when you make space for people and when you help make people feel seen, even if it's through a t-shirt or a necklace, like people will show out for you. So that's what we've been doing all year, is just bringing Hija de Tu Madre to our Latino community across the country.
Dope.
Thank you.
So what, before you started Hija de Tu Madre, like what were you doing that, were you doing things in your career that was leading up to this? Did you always have interest in being kind of an entrepreneur, owning a business, or was it kind of like a left turn that you made?
I think so much of my career and life are mistakes and left turns. So I'm sure y'all can relate, but like, you know, Latinos stay hustling. Like I come from a long family of like hustlers, like people selling gum on the street, like
oh, wow.
whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Latinos sell like ice to polar bears. And I feel like that just comes naturally to me. So I always had that kind of support, that entrepreneurial support and spirit, but I majored in religious studies. I'm sure, as you might imagine, there's not a lot of jobs waiting for you when you that. But I always have.
It depends on the religion, you know. I know Scientology. I hear they you know, they got good health insurance and stuff like
that. Yeah, that's true. I messed up. I took the wrong left turn. But yeah, so much of my life and my career is like being confused. You know, when I majored in religious studies, it's because I was confused spiritually. And then when I graduated, I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I found myself getting a design internship. So one design internship turned into a job, and then that job turned into a freelance design business. And that freelance design business really gave me a lot of flexibility to start my hustle. And during that time, I took my freelance business to Mexico City. I was just like working on my stuff, managing my clients from abroad, and really getting close to my culture and really getting to know what it means to be Mexican and improving my Spanish because I'm a little no sabo. And yeah, using all of that confusion and like feeling lost to create Hija de Tu Madre, which is kind of like such a strong statement of who I am and of my own cultural identity.
Wow.
I love that. Speaking of identity, I see one of your designs here. Sorry, yo soy así. Can you explain that? Talk to us about what that means.
Cute. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm Benito, Bad Bunny's #1 fan, and
Right.
a lot of inspiration from Bad Bunny. And this is a line from the song Titi Me Preguntó. And we just dropped this today. And, you know, I think for us, sorry, yo soy así, it goes back to being first gen and being multicultural. It's like, this is who I am. There's no code switching. There's no changing who I am. It's about being unapologetically Latina. And that's what we're preaching over here.
Yeah.
Dope.
I love it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Now, I like to say that August 12th is National Rachel Day. Okay, that's my birthday. I expect things to come in the mail. I expect, you know,
Oh,
camps
yeah.
to not be in progress. I expect a ticker tape parade of some sort. It's a national holiday on my birthday. So that's just my expectation and what I do around what I like to say is my day. But it is nothing compared to what Patty Delgado has done for the calendar and for Latinas. So please explain to everyone who's listening to the Latinos Out Loud podcast right now what March 31st is, the significance, and what you done did.
Mm.
Gosh, you guys really did your research. I'm so impressed. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, March 31st is Jefa Day. Jefa, for those who don't know,
Jefa. Wow.
that translates to boss or girl boss in Spanish.
I'm a boss.
Yeah.
I'm a boss.
I saw
Ricky
that.
Ross. Okay.
Yeah, so March 31st we declared as Jefa Day because one, I felt very inspired at the time by like Latina Equal Pay Day. And for those that don't know, or historically, Latinas have been are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to pay. But we be hustling, you know, and we get the least amount of representation when it comes to like hustle culture and entrepreneurship. And so really creating a day that is for us, you know, all the women in my family work hard, probably too hard. They need to sit down and take a break.
Facts.
So
relax,
abuelita.
right?
Yeah.
Relax, abuelita.
You gotta have a relaxed abuelita day too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get a tecate and relax. Sit down.
So March 31st is for us, you know, a day to like really honor women that are hustling and, you know, being mindful of, you know, all of our moves. We say at Hija De Tu Madre, we say like make jefa moves. And sometimes make jefa moves means ignoring your email or like quitting your job. So like really just being conscious and aware of progress and taking a break.
Wow. You're a Forbes 30 under 30 designer. You're a jefa in that too.
Woo! Amazing. Like Forbes, the Forbes.
Wow.
Right,
how does that work? Does Forbes call you up and is like, yo, this is Forbes. We got we want you to be on one of our lists.
No, it's the other way. It's more like Forbes. Listen to me. Let me tell you.
Wow, I like that.
It's more like that.
Sit down, Forbes. Sit down for a minute. Sit down. Let me talk to you.
Check this out. I like that. I like your hustle.
So there's a lot of different products going on your site. You know, you have you know, jewelry, clothes, you know, you have some like really cool if you go to the site, there's like cool jean jackets with, you know, any type of flag, you know, Latino flag you want, Latina. And so you know, how do you go about deciding? You have notepads too, you know, you have a bunch of different things. How do you go deciding what to, you know, what kind of stuff do you want to sell on the site? You know what I mean? What, like, you know, and what do you think that is gonna sell more than? Did you have like surprising things that are on the site that you're like, wow, I didn't think that this was gonna do so well. This is great.
Yeah, so I think it's two things. It's equal parts my like crazy psychotic ideas before I go to sleep. So that's half of the formula. And then the other, like, it's like those, wouldn't it be cool if, like, those types of conversations. So it's that. And then also going back to Scientology, like we have a cult following of Latinos that tell me,
I like this.
that tell me what to do. And so a lot of it is like, I'm so lucky that we have this community that feels so supported and that they can just tell me, yo, I need you to make this necklace, or I need you to make this t-shirt with this saying, or check this out, which is really awesome. For example, like I mentioned, I'm Mexican, I'm from LA. It's a very kind of Mexican dominated area, but like the Peruvian community, for example, shows up for me. And sometimes our Peruvian products are colors, because again, it goes back to being seen. When people feel seen and supported, like they will come and show out for you. So I think I'm always trying to make more space, and we do that through products. So I'd love to add more countries to the collection, or more identities.
Yeah, the Peruvian jacket sold out, so the Peruvians are coming out in droves for your stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yo, you know, Dominicanos, Boricuas.
Oh man,
you need to make you need to represent. You gotta get these jackets.
Absolutely.
You gotta sell them out too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also you were talking about design. Like you're like a lot of your products, like like it's very like the colors are bold, like bright, right? A lot of pink. Is that also coming from you, or is is that that's very similar to your own personal style?
Yeah, I think it's funny. It's like I'm like low-key afraid of color, and like in terms of
really
color.
You got orange hair.
I know, but I say black and gray every day. Believe me.
No, that's a thing. That's like a female thing. I hear you.
You get it. And so I feel like the audience, or our community, I should say, like really inspires me to like make things like that are out of my comfort zone. So like we have a t-shirt that says Échale ganas, that's like this mustard yellow. And I'm like, all right, I guess the people want mustard yellow, let's do it. And it's like a top seller. So the people want color, and that's what we're
the people want
color.
I know.
So Fati, we have a listenership that has a myriad, various different backgrounds, lots of entertainers, entrepreneurs like yourself, like us here at Latinos Out Loud. I have a few questions. I'd love to delve into your business, because I would assume that, everybody at some point has had that idea, like, yo, you got to put that on a t-shirt, bro. You got to put that on a t-shirt, yo. Like, yo, you got to put that on a bumper sticker, yo. Like, or is that just me? Because I go through that almost daily, but I am not an apparel maker or designer. But anyway, I want to know about the business side of things. Like, how do you function and thrive as a business? And my part B to that question is, can you share with us, what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah. So I think my day to day is really putting out different fires every day. Like that's what it is this conflict. Like this didn't show up today, or like this is late, or my laptop broke, or you know what I mean? It's like always putting out fires and having to be learning how to adapt. Like I wish I had a schedule. I really wish I did, but I think that's like the pain of being a young entrepreneur, is like every day is like a new battle, or like a new struggle. And my job is just the fixer at this point. Like I just be fixing problems every day.
I like that. Fix a problem.
Sounds like you're solution oriented. And yeah, that's jefa. That's a jefa move right there.
Facts.
Like, yo, if people come into you like the deli counter, like, yo, Patty, let me get a half a pound of like corned beef. Like if people just coming to you with their requests and you're fulfilling their like needs, that's a jefa move for sure. Yep. So back to the other question, for those out there that are considering becoming an entrepreneur in this field, back to the beginning of that question, because I know there are some entrepreneurs out there. I'm curious, how do you develop a business plan to launch a company like Hija De Tu Madre? What goes into that?
Yeah, I think for me, when I go back and I think about when I started, and like I didn't have the resources. I didn't have rich parents. I didn't have a line of credit. What is a line of credit? You know, like when you're 25 figuring it out.
Right.
So I think like just not having enough resources, but having a crazy ego and understanding that like there's a need in the market, like, and you guys are doing it too, is like Latinos want to be seen. They want their own spaces, their own media,
Yes.
their own TV shows. Like, you know, like when I was growing up, the only time that there was representation was either like housekeepers or like El Cholo on the TV. You know? It was like either gang related or like, you know, housekeeping and that type of labor. And, like, obviously those are like, that's fine, but like we're more than just that, you know what I mean? So I think at the time I felt like, okay, like what does it mean to be Latina in this time? What does it mean to be Latinx? And how can I show that? Because these people want to buy from their community. They want to buy from people that understand them. So I think my advice would be like understanding like what is the opportunity or the problem and how can you provide a solution, and being different. I can't stress that enough. Like
Facts.
my company is called Hija De Tu Madre. Like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And that's okay. Not everyone's going to get it. And that's an advantage.
Get your own lane, girl.
So what is like the future for Hija De Tu Madre? Are there things that you want to continue to kind of expand on what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would love for Hija Tu Madre to be this household name, you know, like Latinos are about to be like the US majority. Like we have so much buying power. I'd love for us to have like our own space, our own brick and mortar in different cities across the country. And I think more partnerships, you know, I know you guys interviewed Esperanza from PepsiCo. We just amazing. Shout out to her. We did an amazing partnership with PepsiCo. So I'd love to keep working with like these global brands to like that make space for us, you know, and that really help elevate small businesses like mine. I'd love that Nike partnership at some point.
Yeah.
What up?
Out there.
Till night, where you at?
I was going to ask you about like distribution. Are you looking to be carried in stores? Do you want to launch your own stores, like storefronts, or what's the thought about that, if any?
Yeah. I would love for us to do different types of retail experiences. So like, for example, you know, like us going on tour in this like giant pink truck. You know, I think that's my idea of stores. You know, I don't really want like the cookie cutter storefront, but like, how do we create a space for us that's very different and unique? So, yeah, you know, like, how do we do the pop-up experience, but also, you know, leverage like, I don't know, Target. I don't know. I don't know if you're listening, Target.
Right.
Available.
Target.
Nike and Target.
Hey,
right?
you never know. I'll be
Never
surprised at who's listening sometimes. That's why I'm asking you these questions. How can we help? Let's get it out there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm open. I'm open for opportunities. I just want more people to have access to our brand because we need it. Our community needs this type of representation.
So how do you guys come up with these new designs? Do you task your staff? Are you like, you know, because the one about sorry, like, how does that work? How does that get developed?
Yeah. So as of right now, you know, I mentioned we're a very tiny team. There's like barely 10 of us. So a lot of the concepts and the creative like kind of starts with me and me just like scrolling on my phone or like me listening to my parents and they like call me some like rude thing in Spanish. And I'm like, oh, this is a great idea for a t-shirt or like a necklace. So I think it's a lot of living, you know, it's a lot of nostalgia too. Like me going and hanging out with my family, visiting the motherland, and then using that inspiration to like, you know, have a bigger conversation and to make products essentially. I'm a designer too. So like, it's just like easy for me to stay up till like 2 a.m. just like working on like some crazy idea.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the life, right? It's so it does. You don't know when the idea is gonna come. You don't know how. Are you like, we're comedians here, so like we utilize our notes, right? Like if there's a joke that pops up or something that we want to put into a script later, it's like, yo, Siri, write this down real quick, girl. But like, how do you? Do you write stuff down, or do you have somebody that you call? You're like, yo, I just had this amazing light bulb moment. Let me just tell you, like, what's that like?
So my notes app in my phone is very chaotic. Like, like if you know, you know. Like, I love my notes app. My screenshots folder on my phone is insane because the same thing is like I'm always looking for inspiration and always collecting things.
Wow.
Yeah, I've also learned, and like I think this is also advice for like people trying to start a business, is like keep your ideas to yourself. You know what I mean? You need that inflated like ego to like get it going to the next step. Because once you share that idea with somebody and they're insecure or they're having a bad day, like they will shut you down so fast. So like keep those ideas to yourself. Don't get validation from anybody else. Just like run with it until it doesn't work out anymore.
I love that advice.
I like that.
Patty, tell everybody where they can find your stuff and where they can find you on social if you want them to find you. Because if you don't want them to find you, that's another thing, It's okay. It's okay too.
Yes, absolutely. You can find us at hijatumadre.com, Hija Tu Madre on Instagram, and Hija Tu Madre LA on TikTok. I be posting really cute videos, so please go like them. And yeah, and you can follow my personal shenanigans at Party Skinny.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I can tell you're a lot of fun just by the hair color, I swear.
Out.
That's amazing. Girl, you are so young to be doing what you're doing. We really want to celebrate you here at Latinos Out Loud. It's really remarkable. Esperanza could not stop talking about you. So immediately we had to reach out, and we're just really proud of you. We're proud of all the creators like you. Maybe you think it's a small shop, but such a big voice. And that's what's really important, the impact that you're making, not the numbers that it takes to make the impact. So congrats to you, girl.
Right?
Do it.
Yeah, Patty. Get it, girl.
Do it. Thank you.
Thank
One
you.
more time. Throw your shirts around. Spin it like a helicopter for Patty Delgado right now. All right? Take your North Carolina, take your shirt off, spin it around your head just like a helicopter.
Yeah.
I'm not a rapper, but I think this lyrics, I don't know.
All
right, Patty. Thanks for coming on the
you.
show. Thanks for taking the time out. You're at headquarters right now, probably working and twerking and doing everything you got to do.
Thanks, everybody. This was great. What an honor.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
It was good.
Yeah, guys, that's it. One time for Patty Delgado.
Wow.
Love it. I really love when we get entrepreneurs on the show. I really love when we get creatives. I just love the show. Okay. I just love the show. I love Latinos Out Loud and how we get to invite these really cool people that put us on to cool stuff, and they're doing it for this really cool community of
She's doing it for the culture, yo.
Make those Jefa moves, girl.
What? The Jefa moves.
National Jefa Day? Like, she created a day, a nationally recognized day.
Can we take off of work that day?
Yeah, that'll be that's a good idea.
Only the Jefas.
Only the Jefas.
Only the Jefas can take off of work. You guys, what do you think of a Latinos Out Loud Day?
Oh,
any buyers here? Anybody interested? No?
I mean, sounds good. That sounds good, Rachel.
Make it a block party, have people.
I think there's National Podcast Day, right? Yeah, in September, I think. But maybe we should do National Latino Podcast Day, because that doesn't exist.
Yeah, who's the person that you go to put those into to make it official? You know what I mean? You gotta go to Congress to be like, yo, how
the
can
Webbies? Maybe we go to the Webbies, the Webby Awards. Maybe one day, take care of us.
Frank, don't you know a guy? You have to know.
You know
a guy
what?
that
I want to
adjust the calendar.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to find out.
We gotta get some of these uptown politicians to make it official.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. Definitely.
Yes. Well, you guys, if you out there know of another entrepreneur or somebody doing it big like Patty, send her or him or they or however they identify our way. Let us know. Hit us up, 978 Latinos on Instagram. We are Latinos Out Loud on our personal Instagrams. Guys, should we do a que lo que before we wrap the episode?
Yeah, why not? Let's do
Let's
that.
do it.
Let's go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, vamos a bailar otra vez. Que lo que, 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 que lo que. 1, 2, 3, menéate otra vez. Que lo que, 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 que lo que.
All right, it's que lo que here at LOL. I love things with 3 syllables. Okay, who's gonna go first? Anybody?
I'll let one of you guys go first.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, hey, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, J Ferns, Instagram, J_Ferns, Twitter. That's pretty much it. Shout out to all the LOLs that listen in every week. Or every other week. I don't know what your schedule is. Maybe you listen to it every other. Maybe you binge it once a month, However, there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's, right? And there's no wrong way to listen to LOL, Latinos Out Loud.
Ooh, that's true.
So I will bring it to Rachel.
All right.
Sure. It's been a busy few weeks. I just want to shout out everybody supporting the podcast. We've had some pretty great meetings these last few days about potential partnerships. So I'm really excited to talk about that when we can.
All right.
I also have to shout out my oldest boy turned 7 years old the other day on June 16th.
Woo! Yes. 7, my lucky
Donovan.
number.
Nice.
Yes.
Big boy.
7.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
all of a sudden, the day he turned 7, he just started having like bigger boy problems. He comes to me, he's like, Mom, my voice is changing. Can you tell? I'm like, really? Like overnight? And he's having not problems, 7-year-old issues that I'm like, oh, he is getting older. Now there's some conversations about girls.
All right. That's my
conversations
boy.
about-
That's
It's all
my
downhill.
boy.
It's all downhill from here, boy.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Yo, not for nothing. Okay, I'll share a little bit of momedy right now because I still don't know how to like unpack this. But he was jumping on the trampoline with the neighbor the other day, and I might have brought this up, and I was just sipping my coffee or doing something on the other side of the yard, and they were talking about kissing girls.
Ooh.
Oh, nuts.
And then when I came closer and I was like, what? And Donovan was like, oh, I was telling our neighbor how I kiss you, Mommy. I like to kiss you, Mommy. You're the only girl I kiss, Mommy. And I like to kiss you, Mommy. And I'm like, uh-huh. What in the world? So any advice on that, I'm open because I also want to like navigate this right, yo.
Hey, at 7, I
sure.
wasn't talking about kissing girls. I was still playing with action figures. I was still making my action figures like kiss each other and shit, He-Man, you kiss She-Ra.
Yeah.
I think it was innocent. I think it was just about like, well, he didn't even use the word kissing. He used the word smooch. So
Smooch.
I don't know.
That's an old school term.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna smooch that dame?
Yeah.
He's a classy kid. What can I say? But anyway, happy birthday to him, my special boy. I love being a mom so much, and watching them grow is really fantastic. It's scary, fantastic, magical, and it's just happening so fast.
Dope.
Frank.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep on. I don't have a que lo que. I was gonna wish Donovan a happy 7th.
Nice.
Glory, right? Glory had a birthday also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Glory Mora. Jamie had a birthday also this week. And Andrew had a birthday also, his nephew. So it was a week. Every time I turned on the social media, there was a birthday around the corner. So I was like, it was like it was
Thank
nuts.
you.
And then I found out Jamie and Andrew are not even a day apart. I was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell?
And Father's Day is the next.
Oh man.
Yeah. Can we take the moment? Jamie, happy birthday.
Birthday, my brother.
Yeah. Oh my
Thank you.
I have a question for you. I mean, your post on your birthday. Hold on. You don't do Botox. Do you?
No. This is a joke. But I'm saying, yeah, I'm assuming people know that I'm joking, but I didn't get someone DMing me. Like, I thought I was gonna get maybe one DM like, yo, you really get Botox?
Maybe nobody wanted to ask you, but I did. I was like, I'm gonna ask him, and I'm gonna ask him on the podcast. I did birthday Botox, funny alliteration there. I don't get Botox. At least, but
shit, I was gonna say. I was like, wait.
I mean, look, there's
It's
people that do.
okay.
You can get that subtle one. You can get the subtle shit.
Right here for the little wrinkles right here on the
Right,
forehead.
I think if I did get it, I probably wouldn't. I would not. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't admit to it. Like on
right.
I didn't think so.
So the
Wait,
fact that I
tell us
did
about
say it means like I don't get it. If I'm not, yeah. If I'm being secretive about it, that means I do get it.
Oh man.
Did you have a good birthday, Jamie?
It was cool. It was cool. I went to Fatima and I ate at a steakhouse on the night before, and then the day of, just did a whole family thing, and so like you said, my nephew Andrew also's birthday, Father's Day, so the family thing was like a combination of celebrating everybody's,
Wow.
Andrew was there, the fathers, all these fathers were there. So it ends up becoming, you have to share your celebration with other people, because there's so many, and there's other people in my family that have a birthday in June as well. So, the older you get, birthdays are less, more like excited, you're less excited about them and more like, here's another one. Here we go.
Another one.
Yeah, that's what it is. But
yeah,
what a special one. First time as husband and wife.
Yeah, wow.
Fun events. It's
first married
now.
birthday.
Yeah, you're in your next chapter. It's fun to watch from afar. And also, you didn't have the easiest year, Jamie. You had a lot thrown at you.
Yeah.
You did. And
it was a crazy year,
bro. You did it. You made it. You look great.
Botox or no Botox, you look great. Kudos to you.
I don't know if you're gonna admit it, and let alone on the podcast.
No,
so I still have my doubts.
I mean, look, if I did it, like, I don't know if I would be honest about it, but maybe
exactly.
But if it came off good, maybe I'd be like, yo, you wouldn't even know that I got this shit. That's how good this shit is. But what if I got that shit, if I got a bad, I don't know how if I got a bad dose of, a bad needle of one of them, and you see my one eyebrow looks bigger than the other, then that
if you look like Justin Bieber, you seen Justin Bieber's new thing with his eye? Yeah, you don't want that, man. Yeah, so, Justin looked messed up. I don't know what drugs he was doing. He's looking bad. At this moment,
I'd be too paranoid to get it, because I feel like once you get something and it's if you get something and it's in your face, you can't hide it if it's on your face. So if it doesn't come off the way you want it to come out, people are gonna notice that you did something.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit gun shy. I'd be too gun shy right now to do that.
Not that I analyzed your forehead, but I did, and I'm like, wow, like it's very subtle if he did do it, and I may ask him for who did it for him. So I need a referral. Anyway,
it's Jamie, natural creams. There's a lot of moisturizers. Fellas, do your cleansers, your moisturizing. And then
you take good care of your skin. You do.
For right now, but the older you get, the more then you gotta there's nothing you can do other than
nothing helps.
Nothing helps. There's gonna be an age where it's just like, okay, I feel like the age gods came for Jamie, but right now I feel like I'm aging pretty good. So
right.
Wait till kids are in play. When kids are in play, forget it. You're like, I used to take such good care of my skin. Now, like, when I'm putting lotion on their ass, I'm like, let me get some of that lotion for my face. Mommy's face is dry. Like wiping baby cream off their buttons, putting a smear on my forehead because I need the moisture.
I had that Gerber baby food on the skin. Is pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Ew.
That youthful baby.
Ew. But you know what I have been using, and this is so Dominican. My little guy Benji has like sensitive skin, just like me. So the mosquitoes, they get him bad. Pero natural aloe plant, just aloe,
Man,
like
boom.
from the plant. You know, it's all
Nice.
over the place in DR. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, you grow up around it. You're like, it's just a nice plant to look at. No, the medicinal value of aloe. Oh my God, it's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aloe
Está la
vera.
curandera,
Aloe
you
vera,
know?
I use it when
yeah.
I get like sunburn. That's when I use aloe vera.
Hello. Yeah. So try it. Okay. That's it. Are we wrapping the episode? Did we do
Yeah.
everything we were supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
happy
yeah.
birthday, Jamie.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
Mazel Tov to many, many more.
Yes,
This
sir.
podcast, we raised this podcast to you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for rocking out with us, Latinos Out Loud, LOLeros. I guess on that note, we out.